Hello, tigers and tigers. Welcome back to another episode. And in today's episode, we were going to do a story time. I didn't really know what to do with a react video, so if you have any suggestions on what kind of react videos I could do, send them my way. You know my Gmail. I'll put them in the link below, so that you guys in the description, obviously, so you guys can send it to me and I'll check it out. All right, so I wanted to talk about hunting. Yes. And with hunting, yes, it will be involving animals dying and skinning and eating in the process. I am in between with agreeing or disagreeing with it at the moment. I agree with it because it's really fun and it helps keep the animals in order so that they don't overpopulate the entire area or be invasive species. I do disagree with it because mostly animals can be just like humans. They're smart, curious, and amazing. I'd hate to kill one just for spite. I only kill for proper eating and for a little bit of adrenaline now and then. But mostly I just eat them. I would never ever just want to kill for, I guess, trophies, as you would say. Because it could be wrong. That animal could have a life, and I agree with that. But I also disagree with hunting mostly because animals, like I said, are like people, and it's not their fault for overpopulating because we're mostly overpopulating. Our planet is so big and how many people there are that the animals have no other choice but to get interacting with us. But I also disagree with it because of poaching. People that just hunt just for sport, or mostly they don't even care about the animal and let it lie there dead. They only just kill because they feel like the adrenaline makes it good enough. I do agree and disagree with trophying. I would love to have a trophy of my animal that I kill so that I could see that it was my first kill, yet how beautiful they are in real life. I can see how that could upset some people. Like, how would you like it if your children or whatever were mounted on the wall and the animals thought it was okay? I honestly don't know. I feel like it wouldn't really bother me that much because if we were like animals and the whole thing was switched, we wouldn't really know what was going on or what the bang would be from after death. So I feel like it probably wouldn't affect us as much as we think it would. But back off on topic. I love hunting because of many, many reasons. But when I was a kid, yes, little me, my great grandpa would take me hunting for the very first time, and it was amazing. I got to see outside in the wild and in the wilderness, and we usually only went hunting for pheasants, so I didn't really get to be able to contribute because I didn't have my hunting license at the time, which I didn't understand because I was too little. But that's okay because I had so much fun just exploring and finding and catching snakes and frogs and stuff. And yet, watching my great grandpa shoot at some birds and be able to take it home to eat. My favorite meal from the pheasants are pheasant casserole. Absolutely delicious. You should try it sometime. We hunt near a lake where they do a pheasant release site. We don't go up in the mountains to hunt any deer or coyotes or anything yet, mostly because it's really far away from where we're at right now. We kind of live in the suburbs, I would say. Like, not really on the countryside, but yet not really in the city, so in the middle. What do you guys think? But anyway, as I got older, I got to understand more and more about guns. I got a little bit more afraid, to shoot a gun, but after a while, I learned how to do it properly. So let's talk about a story that happened during hunting. The first thing I want to talk about is I got my license. When I wanted to get my license, I was about 12, 13 years old, because I think that's about the time you should get your license, but you can't get it about any other time you want. So when I went to go get it, the first time I actually didn't really make it. I failed, and it was really devastating to me. I have to wait a whole year just to do it again. But I did learn something. I learned to be patient and to understand the question more than just guessing. So, when the second round came along, I was able to finally know what to do. They offered a read aloud to you. What they do is they have certain kids that, would want that couldn't read or etc. would go into a small group around a table, and the person that used to tell you these answers and questions would read out the question and the answer. Sometimes it refreshes your memory, like, oh, I remember him saying about that, and then you just remember the answer. But I do have a guilty thing that I have to say. There was a little girl on the right side of me, and I noticed that she was trying to cheat. I didn't really know how to react about it. She was really little, I'm guessing about 8 years old, but I just didn't know how to, you know, talk that she was cheating. But this mother came over to the left of me of this boy, this little boy, and she immediately covered his answers. Then she looked at me like desperately trying to get help because she didn't know what to do. I felt so bad. So I kind of regrettably helped her in a way. Whenever the guy would read us an answer, I would nod and go, okay, but I wouldn't say it, but act like that. And she would get the answer that way because he has to read each answer out loud. And I would only nod my head to the one that was right. I think he caught on though because he looked at me and then looked at her and then looked at the answers and then looked at me one more time. And I think he was going to do something about it, but he felt bad, for the little girl. Finally, after doing everything, I actually got it right. Not 100%, but I got it right. And I was so excited, and I even seen the little girl have a smile largely on her face. I mean, I guess it's wrong because I didn't let her learn how to do it herself, and yet it was right because I felt really bad and I wanted to help in some way. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below if you think I did the right thing or not. Alright, back to the story. As I got older, I went hunting and I was too afraid to shoot the gun. I wouldn't be able to, obviously. I was too afraid to pull the trigger or I would forget to put the safety off. I just didn't want to hurt anybody. And I just felt scared. But I wanted to get over that fear. I wanted to make my grandpa proud of me for being able to do something that is usually out of the ordinary for girls to do. I mean, usually it's mostly men or boys that would want to do something like this. But occasionally I would see 2 or 3 girls just like me. So it's really cool to know that I'm doing something that normally girls wouldn't want to do, like an engineer or a construction worker. Sure, they can do it, it's just mostly not one of those things that people would want to do. So, anyway, I got more comfortable with shooting, and this one time I was hunting with some of the people there. They sometimes, if you ask nicely, or they'd come up to you and ask if you wanted to tag along. I've had a few encounters though where people would be a bit strict on about it, and I don't know if I'd hunt with them again, to be honest. Like this one, I think couple, they were hunting together and they told me every time you reload you have to say you reload. Every time you have a shell in the gun you have to say shell. Every time you fire you got to say I fired. It's just, I felt like it wasn't necessary to have to do all of that stuff. I mean, I understand maybe telling them that, hey, wait a second, I'm going to reload, or hey, I'm going to move over that way, so be careful of the line of fire, but to repeatedly say each little detail that you're doing for hunting kind of defeats the purpose of having fun and just actually getting a bird up or, literally just going there. You don't have to kill something to have fun. You just go there and have fun with just the odds of possibly getting one up. And that's the most important thing. But anyway, like I was saying, I went with one of these people that wanted me to tag along. He's a really nice guy. His name is Brad, but I'm not going to give any information. But he had this Labrador, Lucy, and usually you have to have a hunting dog when you go hunting. It's nearly impossible to hunt without one, and that's why I tagged along with a few people, because sadly our dog passed away around the time that it was hunting time, and we hadn't trained our puppy yet to understand what to do. So I wanted to go anyway, even though I knew the odds were against me. But people were really generous and let me go with them. So I went with Brad and his dog Lucy. And immediately, I felt like my fear was going away slowly. Because once I got up to the field area, the dog was going on point and stuff. Being ready, sniffing the ground, and wanting to get to that bird immediately. Finally, the bird flushes out, and I'm probably a good 14 yards away. And then finally, I fire. I pull the gun up, put it to my um, shoulder, and then finally, bang! And then I see the bird go all the way down to the ground, and I got so excited because it was my first actual time that I didn't feel afraid to shoot. Sure, I should be more, shoot. Remember that I have at least 3 shots in my shotgun, but it was still amazing. I had so much fun, and I got over my fear. That was the main thing. After that, things got a little easier. I was able to shoot at birds more. Sure, I missed, but I was able to get comfortable. Now, let's talk one more thing about my hunting before I have to go. One time, everybody makes mistakes, and it's just our human nature. No matter what you do, even if you're an expert at whatever you do, you'll still make a mistake and possibly even end up hurting yourself or someone else. And that's okay. Because as long as you know what you did is wrong and you feel like you can forgive yourself and the person you probably did it to, then you're okay. It was an accident. You shouldn't take that into a serious thing into your brain. You shouldn't regret things. You should forgive things. But let me say that I was getting my gun and it was a normal time. This time we went on the other side of the area. There's 2 sides you can go to, so I went on the other side, and it was a cornfield, and we were walking down to the lake area because there was like a lake with a duck house and everything for duck hunters. And finally, I was walking and walking, and I looked to my left, and my grandpa's on my left. But I look to my left, and there was the gun. Literally, the gun was right at his head, and the barrel of it. And it was on safety. It was on safety, but immediately I threw the gun away from him. Like, I didn't throw it, but I grabbed the gun to my chest and pointed it the other direction, and I felt so terrible. I was afraid to tell him. I don't think he even noticed. I knew that what I did was wrong, and I had butterflies that I wasn't paying attention enough. Finally, when we got closer, I told him. I felt better about it, knowing that he was okay, and that even though it could have killed him, I was responsible, and I was willing to own up to my mistake. Alright, so I hope you guys really enjoyed this story time. I know I did, and this is going to be a lot of animating for me to do, but other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Don't forget to subscribe and pounce that like button. If you want me to do a part 2 of hunting, because I have many stories of hunting, that's only scratching the surface of it. And anyway, that's only scratching the surface of it. So if you really, really want me to do part 2 or even another story like a service dog on how I got my service dog, about my PTSD, why I'm bisexual, any questions that you have, I will answer. Though I haven't seen any comments in the last episode, so I didn't have anything to answer at the moment. But if you do, let me know. Thank you all for watching this video, and goodbye!